She said, "Open relationships are normal now. Don't be insecure." After I found her messages, so I let her have her freedom and moved out quietly. Now she's panicking that none of her options want anything serious. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I used to think the worst kind of betrayal was catching someone physically cheating. But now I think the slow emotional erosion, the kind that disguises itself as personal growth and modern love, is worse. It doesn't break your heart in one moment. It dissolves your sense of reality drip by drip. My name's Eric. I'm 29, software engineer, and until about 6 months ago, I was in a 2-year relationship with a woman named Sarah. I thought she was it for me. We met at a friend's game night. She was the funny, loud one, the type who could make any room feel lighter. She worked in marketing, bounced between startups, and said she liked how grounded I was. I didn't think much of that at the time, but in hindsight, it should have been the first warning shot. People who find stability interesting usually aren't ready for it. The beginning was great, though. Sarah had this chaotic energy that I actually admired. She'd get excited over the smallest things, finding the perfect mug at a thrift shop, taking the long way home just to chase golden hour light. I was more structured, sure, but I liked how she pulled me out of my shell. I'd bring calm to her storms, and she brought color to my routines. I helped her when she was between jobs, paid rent for 3 months, never made her feel bad about it. I built her a website when she wanted to freelance. Bought her a used camera when she said she wanted to try content creation. I wasn't just her boyfriend. I was her quiet safety net. And she always thanked me for it at first. Things shifted gradually. Maybe it was the algorithm feeding her those poly-mindset creators. Maybe it was her friend Kelsey, who treated every guy like an ATM with a pulse. Or maybe it was just who she always was under the surface. Whatever it was, it started with small comments. Monogamy is kind of a colonial concept when you think about it. You wouldn't get mad if I kissed someone at Burning Man, right? That's not real cheating. You don't own me, you know? At first, I'd laugh it off. But the jokes got sharper, more pointed. And then came the guilt tripping. Every time I voiced discomfort, I was being insecure or controlling. I wasn't even forbidding her from anything. I just asked questions. That alone was too much. The real moment of clarity came on a random Tuesday night. We were watching TV. She got up to take a shower, left her Apple Watch charging on the side table. A message lit up. "Still thinking about Saturday night? Winky face. You're unreal." From a guy named Travis. I didn't snoop. I didn't need to. That one message was enough. My stomach dropped. I paused the show and just sat there, staring at it. My ears started ringing. When she came out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, she saw me sitting there with her watch in my hand. "Who's Travis?" I asked. My voice wasn't angry, just numb. She blinked, tail tucked, arms crossed. "What are you doing going through my stuff?" I didn't. It lit up while I was sitting here. She scoffed and grabbed the watch from my hand like I'd stolen it. "Jesus, Eric, that's so invasive. He's just a friend." I didn't say anything. "You're being ridiculous." "What? I can't have guy friends now." "Friends don't text that kind of stuff," I said, still calm. She rolled her eyes and walked past me to the bedroom. "God, you're so insecure sometimes." I followed her. "Did you hook up with him?" She pulled on a t-shirt. "We hung out. It wasn't a big deal." "You cheated on me." I explored. "You and I are too rigid, Eric. You never want to talk about non-monogamy, even though I've brought it up like 10 times. You keep acting like this 1950s dad figure who owns me." I just stood there. She was pulling the floor out from under me and doing it like I was the problem. "I thought we were exclusive," I said. "You assumed." I was trying to expand the way we connect, and instead of being open-minded, you turn it into this morality play. "Seriously, open relationships are normal now. You sound like a dinosaur." I said nothing. The silence must have unnerved her, because she suddenly got defensive. "I didn't lie to you. I just didn't feel the need to narrate every interaction I have. That's not cheating. That's me having agency." That word, agency, like sleeping with someone behind your partner's back, is a form of activism now. I went to bed without speaking again. She tried to cuddle. I turned away. That night, something in me turned off. No yelling. No slamming doors. I just stared at the ceiling and realized this wasn't my person. This wasn't even a relationship. It was emotional hostage-taking wrapped in buzzwords and gaslighting. The next morning, I made coffee. She was chirping about how we shouldn't let one disagreement ruin something beautiful. I nodded while drinking my mug. Inside, I was done. She left for work around 10. I called off sick. And then I got to work on me. By 2 p.m., I'd reserved a storage unit. By 5 p.m., I booked a short-term sublet across town. Over the next 2 days, while she was at work, I packed everything that was mine. Took my desk, my PC, clothes, books, guitar, everything. I even left the stuff I bought for her. She could keep it. The last thing I did before locking the door was leave a single note on the kitchen counter. You're free now. Just like you wanted. Don't contact me. Then I walked out and never looked back. The first few weeks were weirdly quiet. I thought I'd feel free. Instead, I felt like I'd stepped off a moving train. Everything was still. I didn't have Sarah's voice bouncing around the apartment. No sarcastic comments. No laughter. No TikToks blasting from the other room. Just me and a fold-out bed in a small rental with beige walls and silence. For a while, I kept waiting for the breakdown to hit. The one where I'd cry or scream or regret it. But it never came. I was heartbroken, yeah? But not because I missed her. I missed who I thought she was. There's a difference. In that silence, I started doing things I hadn't done in years. I reconnected with friends I hadn't seen since she called them boring. I went to the gym every morning. I took long walks without checking my phone. I opened a savings account just for myself. I started sleeping deeper. Better. The biggest change? I stopped second-guessing myself. Sarah used to make me feel like every boundary I had was an attack on her freedom. Like wanting exclusivity meant I was trying to cage her. Like wanting honesty meant I was trying to control her narrative. But now I was alone, and for the first time in 2 years, I felt sane. I didn't block her on everything. Just the main channels: phone, Instagram, email. I knew if she really wanted to get through, she'd find a way. And after 2 weeks of silence, she did. It started with a mutual friend texting me, "Hey, not taking sides, but Sarah's been spiraling. You okay?" I ignored it. 3 days later, I got an email from her personal account. Just the subject line was enough. "I miss you, please read this." I didn't. 2 more emails came. Then a long message via Venmo. Yeah, she literally sent $1 with a note. "I hate how things ended. Can we talk?" I refunded it without replying. That's when the tone shifted. A week after the Venmo stunt, I got a call from an unknown number. I didn't answer. Then a text came in. "Hey, it's Sarah's friend Tasha. She's not doing great. She really just wants closure. Could you meet her, even just once?" Closure. Funny how people want closure when they realize the door actually locked behind them. I didn't respond. But the updates started trickling in, not from Sarah, but from the world we used to share. A guy from our old friend group messaged me randomly. "Dude, Travis? The guy she messed around with? Total clown. She went all in, and he ghosted her after a week." Another message, a few days later, from someone I barely knew. "Not sure if you care, but Sarah's blowing up her friend group. Everyone's kinda over her drama." I didn't reply to any of them, but I won't lie, reading those messages felt validating. Apparently, after I left, she tried turning the tables. Told everyone I was emotionally repressive, that I abandoned her because I couldn't handle a strong woman with options. But the thing is, people saw right through it. Especially when she started crying on Instagram about men being trash while thirst trapping in the same post. Her follower count dipped. Her group chats went quiet. Travis never became her boyfriend. He told people she was too intense. The other guys she lined up? All fizzled. One of them had a girlfriend and just wanted a fling. Another one never showed up for the date. She went from being liberated and exploring to accidentally single and confused in under a month. That's when the desperation really kicked in. One evening, I walked into my building's lobby, and there she was. Sarah. Standing by the elevator in a hoodie, arms crossed, like she hadn't blown up our entire relationship just 6 weeks earlier. She looked smaller somehow. Less confident. Or maybe I was just seeing clearly now. "Hey," she said. I didn't say anything. I didn't know how else to get through to you. You blocked me everywhere. I did. She hesitated. "I didn't expect you to disappear like that." I raised an eyebrow. "You told me open relationships were normal. I gave you what you wanted, freedom." She flinched a little. "I was wrong, okay? I was trying to figure myself out. I didn't mean to hurt you. You weren't figuring anything out. You were stringing me along while you chased attention. That's not fair, she snapped, but her voice cracked. No, I said, calm as ever. What wasn't fair was asking for loyalty while planning your exits. She looked down. I miss you, she whispered. Everything's so empty now. I nodded. Yeah, that happens when you burn bridges before you know how to swim. She looked like she might cry. I didn't care. You don't even want to hear me out, she asked. I did hear you out. That night you said I was controlling, insecure, and outdated. That was the last conversation we needed to have. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. Maybe she didn't. Maybe for the first time, she was seeing me, not as the quiet guy who'd do anything to keep her happy, but as someone who finally realized he deserved better. You're really not coming back, are you? No, I said. And you're not either. Then I walked past her, hit the elevator button, and didn't look back. After that lobby encounter, I expected her to take the hint. She didn't. A week later, my email inbox blew up again. Not just from Sarah, from her mother. Yep, her actual mom emailed me. Subject line, Sarah is hurting. Please don't abandon her when she needs you most. As if I hadn't already watched her throw our relationship off a cliff, light it on fire, and live stream the fall. The email was a guilt trip disguised as concern. Long paragraphs about how Sarah has always struggled with relationships, how I was the first stable influence in her life, and how a strong man doesn't walk away when a woman is confused. I didn't respond. I archived it like spam. Then came her sister, Jenny. Texted me out of nowhere. I know she messed up, but you guys had something real. She cries every night. I blocked the number. A few days later, I found a handwritten letter in my building's mailbox. No stamp, just folded paper. Eric, you didn't even give me a chance to explain. I wasn't trying to replace you. I was scared. I thought if I had options, I'd feel safer. But all I've done is ruin the one person who actually saw me. I miss your quiet mornings, your coffee. I miss how safe I felt with you. I thought I wanted chaos. I thought I wanted excitement. I was wrong. Please, even just a coffee. Let me show you I've changed. Sarah, I stared at it for a full minute. Then I ripped it in half and tossed it in the trash with the same energy I used to delete her Instagram from my memory. But she wasn't done. 2 days later, I got a call from my boss. Hey, Eric, weird question. Did you give someone permission to visit you here? What? No. Okay. There was a woman in the lobby asking for you. Said she was your girlfriend. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. She's not. Sorry about that. Won't happen again. It was pathetic now, the persistence, the pressure, the desperate attempts to stage a reunion like this was some rom-com instead of a self-inflicted car crash. But the part that really hit me? She wasn't sorry for what she did. She was sorry she lost access to me. The last straw came on a Sunday afternoon when I stopped by a cafe with some coworkers. We were grabbing coffee before a movie, and as we walked in, I saw her. Sarah, sitting alone by the window with her laptop and headphones, like a woman trying to manifest stability. Our eyes met. I gave a polite nod and turned back to my group. But of course, she got up, walked straight over. Fake smile. Glossed lips, like she hadn't spent months trying to dismantle my peace. Hi, she said, breathy like she just ran a mile. Hey, I said, flat and emotionless. She looked past me at my friends. One of them was a woman, a new hire from our dev team. Sarah's eyes narrowed just for a split second. Can we talk? Please. I stepped aside with her, just enough to keep it civil, but far enough that I could walk away at any second. She folded her arms and looked up at me, like she still thought she had leverage. I know you hate me right now. I don't, I said. You're just not part of my life anymore. She blinked. That got her. You really think I'm some monster, don't you? No. I think you're selfish and impulsive and incredibly good at dressing up betrayal in intellectual language to avoid accountability. Wow. Her jaw clenched. You really don't believe in forgiveness? I believe in it. I just don't believe in recycling red flags. She scoffed. You think you're better than me now? No, I said. I know I am. There it was, the shift. Her whole body tensed, like the mask cracked a little too fast. You've changed, she snapped. I have. You helped with that. Is that girl you're with your new girlfriend? Not that it's any of your business, but no. She's just a friend. She tried to play it cool, but the jealousy was bleeding out of her. I was lost, Eric. I didn't know what I wanted. You did, I said. You wanted freedom, attention, options. And you got them. But none of them chose you back, did they? She stared at me like I'd slapped her. But I wasn't being cruel. I was being honest. Something she never gave me. You act like I ruined everything. You did, I said simply. But the good news is, you did me a favor. You showed me exactly what to avoid for the rest of my life. She was breathing heavier now, voice tight. You're being so cold. No, I'm being clear. I'm not angry, Sarah. I just don't care anymore. She shook her head. So that's it. You're done with me forever. I was done the night you looked me in the eye and told me open relationships were normal. You wanted the door open. I walked out of it. Then I turned back to my group and left her standing there. No drama. No scene. Just a woman holding the consequences of her choices with no one left to blame. That was the last time I ever saw her. No more emails. No more surprise visits. No more friends reaching out to vouch for her. Just silence. Maybe she finally got the message. Maybe she realized that whatever spell she used to cast over me, the charm, the gaslighting, the performative self-importance, didn't work anymore. Maybe she understood that the version of me who would have taken her back out of guilt was long gone. Or maybe, like every option she chased, she just got bored once she realized there was no attention left to harvest. I never really cared to find out. In the months that followed, life got better, not overnight, but steadily, quietly. I got promoted at work, started leading a new product team, picked up a new hobby, boxing. There was something therapeutic about hitting a heavy bag in complete silence. No words, no debates, no manipulation, just release. I moved into a new place. Bigger kitchen, better light, no ghosts. And yeah, I started dating again. Carefully, slowly. No rushing, no desperation. Just seeing people for who they really are, not who I wanted them to be. One of them, a woman named Leah, is still around. We're not in a hurry to label anything, but she's the most emotionally grounded person I've met in years. She listens more than she talks. She asks questions, not accusations. When I told her about my past with Sarah, she didn't flinch. She just said, well, it sounds like you finally chose yourself. She was right. It's not about replacing Sarah. It's about removing the version of me that tolerated Sarah. The part of me that mistook gaslighting for communication. That confused chaos with passion. That believed loyalty meant waiting around while someone decided whether or not I was enough. That guy's gone. And good riddance. A few weeks ago, I was invited to a mutual friend's engagement party, someone from the old friend group Sarah and I used to hang out with. I almost didn't go, but in the end, I decided I had nothing to hide from. Besides, Leah came with me. It was a backyard event. Music, string lights, people laughing. We mingled, drank wine, talked to old acquaintances who, surprisingly, didn't mention Sarah at all. It was like she'd evaporated from the collective memory. Until she showed up. Yeah, she came late. Alone. Her hair was shorter. Her makeup heavier. Her smile fake. Not that bright, real one I used to love. This one didn't reach her eyes. She was trying to look unbothered, happy, content. But it wasn't working. She spotted me across the lawn. Her expression froze when she saw Leah. Leah had her arm casually around my waist, listening to me tell a dumb story about an office coffee machine war. She laughed at the punchline just as Sarah stopped walking. And I kid you not, Sarah turned around and walked the other way. She didn't say hi, didn't wave, didn't make a scene, just turned, slowly, and left. That was the moment I knew it was over. Not just the relationship, but the power she thought she had. The emotional leverage. The guilt. The way she used to make me feel like I owed her my silence while she figured herself out. No more. That night, Leah and I went home, opened a bottle of wine, and watched a movie. No drama. No lies. Just two people enjoying peace, the kind that comes after the storm, when the wreckage is cleared and the sky is finally quiet. Sometimes I still think about that note I left behind. You're free now. Just like you wanted. Don't contact me. At the time, it felt like the bare minimum. But now I realize it was everything. Freedom without accountability is a cage you build for yourself. And as far as I know, she's still trapped in hers. Me? I'm just living. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.